Alright guys, I think we might be live. So let me know if everybody can hear me and then we can get this thing on the road. Let's see. I'm just going to get some of your comments here on the side. Let me know if everybody can hear me okay. And we'll get going here in just a second. All right, so we'll get going here. Yeah, so it looks like everybody kind of was up for the idea of, I guess, doing the Hellcat swap on the Dakota. So today with you guys, I was gonna kind of make a separate video of it, and I probably still will, but I figured this might just be a better way to interact with you guys on the idea, and getting the whole thing Hellcat swapped and whatnot. And I know I explained quite a bit yesterday on it, but bottom line is, guys, because I did see, I try to read as many comments and respond to as many comments as I can, but I did read quite a bit of guys that still wanted to kind of see Magnum stuff done, and some people arguing the fact that I could achieve some sort of horsepower goal with the Magnum, which I'm not denying that you can't do that with any engine. But just from a cost standpoint, you're gonna have to sink a lot of money into a Magnum to be able to get it to perform to the level that a stock Hellcat can. And then, excuse me, when we talk about like reliability, like doing all that stuff to an engine, it can be reliable, but when we're talking like stock components that are made and designed for that much power right from the factory, that not that we're going to get any sort of warranty with our Hellcat swap, but most swaps or most vehicles that have a Hellcat in it would have a warranty on it. So it's designed to withstand that sort of abuse and power for a while, and then we're going to push things above it. So that's the main reason why I'm thinking of doing it. Other thing too is just the the technology as well. I saw some other comments on transmissions. Why don't you do a turbo 400, or why don't you do a 727 transmission? But I mean, those are all options. But again, the technology in transmissions has come a long way too. When you have 8 gears that are all closer and tighter ratio versus 3-speed or 4-speed, you can be in the power band a lot more. I mean, if we're just talking like straight, A to B drag racing, yeah, you can probably get away with 3-speed or 4-speed. But if you guys know, like, if you've ever driven one of the newer vehicles with its Ram or anything like that, if you're cruising and you step on the pedal, it'll downshift and it'll put it in the peak torque and peak RPM, and you can be in that sweet spot. Whereas my Dakota, for example, if you're already rolling, doing like 50 or 60 or whatever you might be doing, if you mash the throttle, it's going to downshift, but it's going to be in a weird spot in the power curve. And it's not until it starts winding out that you finally get into the meat of the power. That's part of the disadvantage of having these older transmissions that only have 4 gears or so. So that's the other reason why I want to do both. I mean, the transmission is almost equally as important to have the newer transmission with 8 gears in it, in my opinion, as having X number of horsepower. So that's why I want to do the complete package and have this thing flying. So just for example, the 6-speed Charger and 6-speed Challenger, or actually no, never mind. Let me take that back because the Charger doesn't have it. But if you take a Challenger 6-speed against a Challenger with the 8-speed automatic and you run the two of them together, the 8-speed will blow the doors off the 6-speed. So that's why I'm saying I really do want to get that 8-speed transmission in there as well. Let me just read some of your comments. I know some people are going to join in at the same time. What's up, what's up, what's up? Everyone's saying what's up. What's up, guys? I'll just say hello to everybody all at once. Isaiah says, yo, give me probs. I called it Hellcat or Hellkota. I know. I've been thinking about it for a while, and I think that would be the best name for it. Donnie, what's up? I don't live far away from you. Do some Hellcat stuff with my, what is it? Doggy band? What is a doggy band? Alan, I think the Hellcat swap would be dope. Yeah, that's hopefully the plan here. Do some work on my doggy band. I don't know what a doggy band is. Alan says, but keep the Magnum and build that as well on the side. You should be able to make money on either. 8-speed. John says, do it. 8-speed wins. Copyright the name. Yes, it was me. All right, so I guess first things first. Let's talk. I guess practicality on this whole thing. So, like I mentioned, I touched briefly on it. It's not the cheapest thing to do, obviously, right? So I gotta try to make it happen financially, and that's okay. I'm not complaining, but at the same time, it is gonna be a chunk of money to come up with. Things like I said, I don't want to. I will never turn my channel or anything into a pity party on help me with this, help me with that. But with that being said, if you guys already hopefully, if you guys have been around with the channel, I don't typically say something and then not follow through or not deliver. I'm sure you guys have friends, maybe even family, or I've seen channels where they'll say something and they never end up doing it, and they're all talk, right? So they'll always say something, well, yeah, I want to do this, or I'm gonna do that, and they don't actually do it. But I kind of live my life in a way that if I say something, I try to stick to my word. So, and that follows true with this channel too. So it's kind of what I wanted to tell you guys is like, I think you guys can kind of see the pattern for if you guys have been around for the channel for a little while, or if you've watched any of the videos. If I say I'm going to do something, I will do my absolute best to make that happen. So when I said we were going to, put a cam in the Dakota, I did it. When I said we were going to build the Dakota and try it out and test it, I did that too. When I said we were going to boost the Dakota, I made that happen. Even if you go back to the Ram, right? I said I want to boost the Ram, I want to take to the drag strip, and we did all that. So I also told you guys that I was going to boost the Viper, and lo and behold, we have a supercharged Viper. Like, not a lot of people follow through with their word on a lot of this stuff. So with that being said, if I tell you guys I'm thinking about doing a Hellcat swap on the Dakota, I'm not BSing you guys. That is what I'm actually hopefully going to try to do. Ways that, and going back to what I was going to say is, I guess to wrap that up, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. So you guys can hold me accountable for that. And where I'm going with this is, if you guys have the means to support me in any way that you can, whether it's hitting the join button, even in here, you guys can leave super chats where you guys can support Boosted Motorsports here. If you guys haven't used it, there's super chats in here where you can say something, and if you guys don't know, when I'm looking at this, I can see all your comments. But when you guys do a super chat, whether it's $1 or $2 or whatever you guys can donate, it'll actually make it in bold letters and pop up on my screen. So I do my best to get to all the comments, but if you guys want to support the channel and you can, you guys can do the super chats. Or if there's an idea that I'm not thinking of, I don't want to do like the cop-out thing of the GoFundMe thing, but I'm going to end up financing most of it myself. Not financing, I guess paying for the swap. Because it's going to be, I'll run through the numbers with you guys, and that's the thing I want to do with you guys today, is break down how much this thing is going to cost. I'll show you guys, no BS, what kind of parts we're looking at. I'm going to show you guys the parts from Holly that I found. I'll show you guys that stuff. I'll show you guys the swaps that I've found. And we'll kind of do just like a rough, back of the napkin kind of estimate on what this thing is going to cost. So you guys can get an idea for yourselves, or how much I am going to be footing out to spend on this thing. But anything you guys can do to support the channel and all this, I have a feeling that if we end up pulling this off, and I think we probably will, I do think the channel is going to do better. That's just my gut feeling. Part of the reason I say that is because the Hellcat platform is a much larger platform, like as far as popularity goes. And putting it in that truck, going to some of these events, it's going to have a certain shock factor to it. So that's why I really want to put the 8-speed in it, because the thing's going to be a rocket ship. So I won't be surprised if we, end up getting kicked out or something like that out of the tracks for not having a cage and all that stuff, and then having to put a cage in it and do all that stuff. So yeah, I think we're gonna make some noise if we end up pulling this off, you guys. But like I said, anything you guys can do to support, and if it's not, you know, if you guys can't join the channel as far as joining a membership and doing the donation that way, if you can't do the super chats, the bare minimum that I can ask from you guys is make sure you give all the videos a thumbs up. I know it's cliche, I know everybody says it, but it does actually help the channel. So every time you guys give a video a thumbs up, it tells YouTube that the video was decent, and it will suggest it to other people outside of our channel. So every time you guys give a thumbs up, it'll end up suggesting or telling YouTube to show that video to somebody else, and we can get this channel to grow. The more I can get it to grow, the more, you know, money the channel can generate, so that I can start paying for all this stuff that we're doing on the channel. So with that being said, I'm going to leave that topic alone, but if you guys can join the channel, if you guys, you know, want to do the super chat so I can see some of your comments, you can leave whatever dollar donation. It could be small, it could be big. Either way, I will announce you guys and give you guys a shout out whenever I see that. And the free thing, thumbs up on all the videos, comments, and you can share them with your friends too, or anybody that you think would enjoy the content. So now let's get into, I'll take a look at some of your comments since I can see you guys chatting away here, and then I'll start to get into what the parts are that I found for the Hellcat swap and what the plan is as well. So let me see what you guys are saying. Alan says it'd be cool to see you do the Hemi swap for real. The Hellefant would be the nastiest. Yeah, the Hellefant's kind of out of the picture, you guys. That thing is like, I think over 30-something thousand or something crazy. So I'm already sweating about a used Hellcat swap for, you know, 12 grand or 14 grand, whatever it might land at. So definitely not going to do the Hellefant unless we got sponsored. But for now, we'll stick to what we know and stick to what we can afford. Mr. J. Magoo, put some merch packages together to raise money. Yeah, like for example, I ended up, if you guys scroll up, you'll see that I pinned our latest shirt, our boosted shirt. So I'm thinking that. The other thing I'm thinking of doing too is, not to sound big-headed, but I do get a lot of people that are, they'll message me, asking me questions. How do I do this? How do I build that? Hey, I watched your video, I'm having trouble taking this apart or putting this together, or what mods did you do, or what size wheels did you have, you know, what lowering kit did you have? Like, it's never ending. It doesn't matter if it's on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. I just get the questions all day. And I'm trying to think of a way that I could package that so that I could answer the people that support me. I'll support them back, because it's kind of getting overwhelming. So I think you can do some Patreon stuff like that, but I have to research it more. But let me know if you guys would be interested in me setting up a Patreon where, I don't know, do you guys prefer the join button on YouTube for, you know, people like me or maybe other YouTubers that you use, or do you prefer Patreon? I think Patreon gives a little bit more way to interact as far as doing some of that stuff, but it just gets overwhelming with the amount of people. I do want to try to help people, but if people are supporting me, then I definitely dedicate more time to that, because I'm only one person trying to do all this, and it sometimes just gets overwhelming. Stay with one vehicle and don't stray to your cans. Cars, cans. Stay with the Dakota for a while. Yeah, I'm not planning on bailing on the Dakota itself, but just getting a little bit bored of the actual motor that's in it, and just, it's not really the most efficient motor for power. Patrick says, what kind of price are you finding on the motor and trans? Around here in Ohio, there's still big money for Hellcat, and 5.7 is pretty cheap. Yeah, I'm going to jump into it with you guys. I'll switch screens here so you guys can actually see my screen, and I'll share the screen with you guys, and we'll kind of go shopping here in a second. Nathan just tapping in now. What's up, Nathan? Alan says, did you ever put the Dakota on a dyno while it was naturally aspirated, and what specs was the cam? The specs, I don't know off the top of my head, honestly, the specs. I showed them in the video, so if you guys want to see the cam specs on my blue Dakota, go ahead and check the video. I'm pretty sure I showed the cam card there. But we didn't put it on the dyno. I'm actually, I haven't told you guys yet. Tomorrow I'm taking the Dakota to the drag strip. It's there's an airfield, actually. It's having an 8th mile tomorrow. So I'm going to take the Dakota there. It'll be 8th mile times, unfortunately not quarter mile, but we'll see what she runs, and I'm going to film that, obviously. So you guys will be getting that in a couple days. So not a dyno run, but we'll see what she runs in the quarter the way it is right now, the Dakota, the blue Dakota. You need to also use Streamlabs or PayPal for donos. Yeah, well, like, would you guys, like, how do you guys feel about that? Like I said, I'm pretty humble person, but would you guys be interested in doing something like that, whether it's a PayPal donation or a GoFundMe or something for this? Like, I'm gonna, regardless of, you know, what you guys do and don't donate, I'm still gonna make it happen. It's just, it would be a lot easier for me to make it happen without, you know, fully doing $15,000 to $20,000 myself and paying for the whole thing. So if you guys are down with this and it's not gonna, you know, offend people, if I set up like a GoFundMe or something where you guys could help donate towards the project, or if you guys, you know, can do as simple as join the join the membership, and I send you guys all stickers. I just sent out a package today, so I end up sending out Team Boosted Motorsports stickers and windshield banners. If you guys hit that join button with the premium, however you guys want to support it, let me know. Like I said, I want to make this happen, and I'm gonna do my part. I'll deliver. You guys know I'll document everything the same way I always document it. But at the same time, any help that you guys could get to make this happen would be huge. Or even if it's, you guys know a Hellcat engine's, somewhere that I can buy for a good price. Like, if you guys can help that way, like, I'm just a normal everyday guy. I'd like to say that this, parts just get given to me for free and all that, but it definitely is not the case. It's all being funded by myself. So, like, I won't lie to you guys. This channel does generate some money, but it's not like some of the other YouTubers where, I'm killing it, like making a ton of money. But pretty much everything that the channel generates, I put right back into the channel. So pretty much all the money that this channel, the revenue that comes from it, I just put right back into the channel and spend the money on the parts. So I'm trying to keep this thing turning, but I can't say that I'm making, $15,000 or $20,000 off the channel to pay for the Hellcat swap. That's all. So let me go through some of your comments, and then I'll go shopping with you guys and show you guys the parts that I found. Just try to get through some of your comments. Isaiah, thanks, bro. Keep the name. Can't wait to see the Hellkota. Because Super Chat screws you. I ain't giving YouTube any more money. I already paid premium. And Google is taking a killing, Alan says. True. Well, I mean, if you guys, I don't know if you guys have companies or if, what you guys have, but if you guys want to sponsor, or if there's any sort of sponsor opportunities, I could do that too. Because I want to figure out, like, if you guys are going to help out with the project, I want to figure out a way to give back as well. I mean, obviously, I'm going to do my part and show you guys the whole build, but if maybe you guys have a company or you guys have some sort of product or something and we can exchange that way, if you can sponsor the build, that might be another option as well. Nathan says, oh, hold on, I skipped one. I did the LED lights on my underhood. Thanks. Nice. So you did that mod too. Nathan says, would you sell the Magnum parts to fund the build? Yeah, so some of the stuff I got to work out with Jason, because as you guys know, some of those parts on the build are Jason's parts. So got to work out with him what to do with some of that stuff. But the other thing too is a lot of them are super rare. So I got to figure out how we would price some of that stuff if I sell some of the Magnum parts. Mr. Magoo, I do all 3 channels. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your support. Joel, what's the best tune you can recommend for my 5.7? That's kind of off topic. As far as tunes, find a tuner or get a can tune. Joshua, I'm a huge Mopar guy, but kind of miss the S2K, especially the track days. Yeah, so I might be doing the track days on the S2000 soon. It's weird. So I mean, I never grew up in the South, but normally the summer is the time where you would go out to track events and racing events where I come from up north. But down here in the South, the racing season is in the winter because it's way too hot in summer. So all the track events are coming up. Like, it's going to be stacked coming soon. But I just don't know. If I'm going to do the Hellcat project in the Dakota, I don't know if I'm going to be doing the the S2000 track days as much because I kind of only have so much funds to kind of spend. So we'll see. I don't know if you guys are interested in the S2000, but I actually have the S2000 for sale if anybody's interested as well. So you guys know the whole build on the S2000, but Joshua says, Coda given hell. That's the plan. That's the plan. Darren, hey John, I'm wondering if before you pull the Magnum, could you do a dyno run for us to see the horsepower or even a track run? Track day is tomorrow with the Dakota the way it sits. So I think if you guys are just joining, the Dakota is going to the track tomorrow. It's an 8th mile. It's at an airstrip, so I don't know how the prep's going to be, but I'm going to put the slicks on it. We'll see what she runs. So I'll have that for you guys in another couple days. So I'll go tomorrow, I'll film tomorrow, and then probably that video will come out by Monday or so. Frankie, a turbo Hemi would be cool. Have you seen Crazy House Performance? I have not. Alan, I would rather donate without YouTube taking all of the bread. Yeah. I mean, hit me. I mean, yeah, if you guys can give me any suggestions on how you guys would like to kind of contribute to the Hellcat project in the Dakota, let me know. Like Alan, for example, let me know what you'd be most comfortable with, and whether you want to send me a private message or let me know here. I'm all ears. So even if I set up like a Patreon thing, they take a chunk of money too, just for the transaction as well. So the only thing I don't know is like the GoFundMe. I don't know how much percentage they take if we start a GoFundMe for the Hellcat project. Like I said, I'm not going to wait till it gets to a certain amount before I move forward with things, but any little bit that you guys can help out with, that'd be cool too. Because like I said, I'm going to end up forking out for this project pretty heavy. The Dog Lambert, well, you did sell your fog lights for $9. I didn't even sell them. That guy didn't want them. He didn't want them. Joel says, you should set up OnlyFans. All the girls are doing. I know, right? I should set up an OnlyFans. Let's do it. Slow Coda. Go with the 8-speed. I just started buying parts for my swap, and I'm thinking of going with the 8-speed. Your vids would definitely help me out. Yeah, I mean, just be careful with the 8-speed because it's not exactly easy to put in and make it work without the right electronics. So that's one thing. Will says, will you need to build up the rear end? No, a lot of people have been asking about that and pointing it out in the last video. The rear end on the Dakota, the RT specifically, is one of the strongest axles that comes from Dodge. So the only weak part on that with pretty much any rear end is going to be the limited slip. So probably end up going with, you know, a better limited slip or a locker or something in the back. But as far as the actual housing of the rear differential and the carrier and the axle, it's strong as we need it to be. So that's not going to be the weakness. The only thing is just, like I said, the limited slip. It might be a one-wheel peel and have to redo the LSD in it. Isaiah, bro, just start an OnlyFans and show your crankshaft for a motor swap. I know, right? Let's do it. That'd be hilarious. Darren, all right, sweet. Looking forward to seeing the track run. Thanks, and just subscribe to all 3 channels. This is my favorite one. Yeah, this one's the car-related one. Actually, you guys have been bugging me a while for getting power tools, and I got a sweet power tool today on Amazon Prime Day, which I'm going to review on the other channel, The Garage, if you guys haven't seen it. Go check out the other channel, The Garage. It's almost at 1,000 subscribers, and then I can monetize that one as well, you guys. So if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, The Garage, let me pull it up. I'll give you guys the link. If you guys can support me over there, at least get me to 1,000 subscribers. That would be huge. Let me just pull up this video. Give me 1 second, you guys. I'm just going to pull up the other channel. You guys can check it out for me because that would help as well. Here it is. So, yeah, we have another channel that I just kind of put not random stuff, but just other helpful content on too. So boom, there you guys go. So I just put the link for the other channel. If you guys can subscribe to the garage as well, it's almost at 1,000 subscribers. If you guys could subscribe to that one, that would help me out because there's some cool, helpful videos on there. Some home renovation stuff, just random stuff that I do around the house. I pretty much film it all when I'm not working on cars. So if you guys are interested in some other content, I know some of you guys are over there too, but check out that channel too. There's some useful stuff there. And kind of some other stuff, like if you guys are interested in starting your own YouTube channel, I show you guys some of the camera equipment, some of the computers and stuff that I use as well. So just kind of filming everything. Let's get back to your comments here. Alan, I would not be able to donate too much, but if you took Venmo, PayPal, whoever... Do you have a Facebook group? Yeah, so there's a Facebook group as well. Or if you want to, we have a Facebook page. If you guys, I don't know if you guys know. Do you guys know that there's a Facebook group and Boosted Motorsports page where you guys can share your own stuff, share your builds as well. We have that. I should show you guys that if you guys don't know already. I'm sharing a bunch of stuff. Facebook. Here we go. Boosted Motorsports. Here, I'll actually share this with you guys. Let me share my screen. So that way you guys can check it out as well. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. So here's the Boosted Motorsports page. I just put it up in there in the comments. You guys can see it. So there's a Boosted Motorsports page, and I'll also, let me switch screens so you guys can see what the heck I'm doing here. Boom. So here's the Boosted Motorsports page. And there's a bunch of content on there. You guys can interact with me there too if you guys are on Facebook more. I post a lot of the video teasers up here. Also, it shares the same account as my Instagram, so a lot of Instagram posts, behind the scenes stuff gets posted here as well. So a lot of different content on here. You guys can engage with me here. And there's also a Boosted Motorsports group as well. So let me get to the Boosted Motorsports group, because I mean you guys can comment and post on this page as well, on the actual Boosted Motorsports page. So you can see there's a bunch of stuff, little clips and teasers. If you guys didn't know this exists, maybe I should remind you guys that it does exist, more often. Let me find. I don't know how to get to it from here. Boosted Motorsports group. Here, let's just do this way. Boosted Motorsports group. So here's the actual group where you guys can hang out in here too. So you can see like Joey, he posts stuff there from Custom Black Guns or Hot Damn Racing Team, I think he calls himself now. But I'll put that link as well for you guys. You guys can check that out. So that's the page, and then that's the Boosted Motorsports group. So there's a little bit of both. So yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to interact. So however you guys want to get a hold of me. Alan, if you want to hit me up if you're more of a Facebook guy, just send me a message there as well too. And we'll, like I said, I can give you guys shout outs or whatever you guys want to do for your contribution. So anyways, that's that. Let me pop over to here. Oh, just before we move on. So this is the other channel that I have, you guys. So this is the garage. And like I said, there's a bunch of helpful videos, some of the camera equipment that I use. So if you guys are interested in starting a YouTube channel, some of the equipment that I use, just a bunch of different things, home security, the GoPro that I use. There's a lot of stuff on here, the computer that I use to edit stuff. So you guys can kind of see it all and just a different type of content there. So let's switch over to eBay so I can show you guys the swaps. And then I also have this loaded up here where I'll show you guys this stuff as well to make it all happen. So let me pop back over here real quick with you guys. Yeah, so if you guys are just joining in, you didn't miss a whole lot. We kind of just talked about a few things. We talked about, making it all happen. We talked about financially how I'm going to try to make it happen and how I have to carry most of the load as far as financially making this happen. So, yeah, we're going to talk about a few things. Like I said, however you guys can support the channel. If it's in a super chat here, you guys can, make your comment stand out. I'm more likely to see your comment and read it when it pops out because it'll come up on bold letters and kind of fly up on my screen. So If you guys want to do a super chat here, if you guys can buy merch, if you can join the membership, like I said, I'll give you guys a Team Boosted Motorsports sticker, along with pretty much all the other stickers that I have, and windshield managers. You guys will get it all, and I'll ship that stuff out. So, however you guys want to support, like I said, we'll make it happen. So, let me catch up to your comments here quickly. Check it out. Where did I leave off last? Oh yeah, you guys are talking about Cleveland Power Sport Performance. Yeah, the Cleveland Power Performance package is like $22,000, which we'll review in a second here. It's pretty expensive. Jonathan says, I have 5.7 for my RT. I was pumped when Holly released their line. Yeah, it's going to be a lot less fab work for sure. Why not put a 6.4 swap in there with the Hellcat blower? I don't, but I know of a Hellcat motor and trans for $11K. Travis, you know of one for $11,000? Send me a message. Even if you want to jump over to Facebook and send me a message on the Boosted Motorsports page, because if I can find that for less, that would be good. So $11K for the motor and trans, that would make things a little bit easier for sure. So Travis, send me a link or send me a private message with that information on where that one's at. Rob, hey man, just bought a 2000 RT in Canada. Nice. Bison, love that you're one of the few making Dakota videos. I know there's not too much content out there, so I'm trying to do my part and make as many videos as possible. Guys, just take a second just to smash the thumbs up if you guys are enjoying the content, enjoying the idea, and enjoying the channel. So, like I said, it does help. I know a lot of people say it. I know I've kind of said it a bunch of times, but make sure you give it a thumbs up. I know there's like 55 people in here. There's only 28 likes, so you guys are being stingy. You guys are always being stingy on me. Mr. J. Magoo. So are you using both security systems or just the one? I use both. So kind of off topic for this channel, but yeah, we have the surveillance system and the security system. They're both running independently of each other. Prior, I just made it at 924 member. 924 member? Nice. Thank you for joining. Andy, the garage sub done. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Andy, for joining the garage. Like I said, I promise there's some cool content over there as well. Aviles Jose, no, you're not late. We're still just getting started. Travis says, I'll check it out in Tulsa. All right, so let's switch over to the other screen, which is what I want to show you guys. So let's jump over there. Okay, so here's the reality of it, you guys. So I've kind of been doing some shopping, and these are the two swaps. This one I've had my eye on. It actually goes in a day or so. $7,200, reserve not met. I think it's somewhere in Texas, Kingwood, Texas. But it kind of looks a little bit sketchy. That's the only thing. So I don't know why it's covered in oil. The PCV looks like it's busted off. Looks like it's outside in the dirt. So it might be priced accordingly, but it looks a little rough. You can see right there, the thermostat housing is busted off the front. I don't know what the history is with this thing or why it's sitting outside. It's sitting on a tractor tire, if you guys can see that. So I don't know if the oil pan is going to be damaged. So, I mean, this would be a cheap way to get into it, but I think there's going to be a little bit issues. Kind of bugs me a little bit that it's sitting outside like that with the PC, like the valve cover is open and there's just dirt everywhere. But this is a cheap one, you guys. $7,200. It goes on Sunday. Reserve not met. He thinks he can get $14,000 for this one. So the prices are kind of all over the map. Like if we go back to here, obviously you can see that I've been looking for some of these things. Here's the Cleveland Power, just as a comparison, you guys. So this is the ones that come running on a box, and you can see just how expensive that these are. So it's kind of cool what they do, but I mean, look, $23,500. That's a lot of money. Or maybe this isn't Cleveland Power one. I can't remember. Maybe this might just be somebody copying the way, but Cleveland Power ones are still about the same price. So you can see it comes on a pallet, pretty much running like turnkey. I think they even have the gas pedal and the gauge cluster everywhere if you guys haven't seen this before. So there's the engine. It's got like the coolant tank. It's got that. It's even got a battery, I think, somewhere on it. And let me show you guys the other part. So it's got the PCM there. It's got the power distribution block. And usually they have a spot where they have like the gauge cluster sitting. I don't see it on this one for some reason. Maybe not this one. I guess somehow they have it running, but usually you'll see the gauge cluster and the pedal. Well, there's the pedal. Maybe no gauge cluster. So there's the gas pedal or accelerator pedal right there. So this is supposed to be, you know, running on a crate type deal. But, I mean, $23,000 is a lot of money. So there's some other ones too, as you can see. Like, let's just go here. As you can see, I've been searching for them. Oh, this is a 6-speed manual though. So this is $15,000 with 6-speed manual. But that's not the way I want to go. I mean, it would work, but it's not the way I want to go for our build. Definitely want to get that automatic here. This one was kind of interesting. I messaged the guy, but never heard back. This is out of a Trackhawk. It's got the whole front suspension. If you guys know, the Trackhawk has the Hellcat engine in it, but it also has all-wheel drive. So this thing will be a monster as far as traction control goes. So see how it has towards the back? Maybe this is a better picture. It has a transfer case on the back of the 8-speed transmission with a drive shaft going to the front with a front differential. And then this comes with all your front CV shafts and everything. But this would be not bolt up, obviously, or bolt on. It would be a bit of a nightmare to get all the all-wheel drive system running as well. So I think we'll probably stick with just the rear-wheel drive. It should be good enough, but this is kind of interesting. Only thing I noticed with this one, if you guys are ever considering something like this, is see how there's a lot of corrosion on the lower knuckle there? I don't know if you guys can see it, but right in the middle there, there's corrosion on the bottom of the shock there. I mean, this thing is what, a 2018? Like, there's not really any reason why this thing should be all corroded. So I do wonder, and there's a better shot of it, if it's a flood vehicle. It's from Florida, so that's why it kind of is a little bit scary. I tried messaging the guy, I never heard back. So that's not a bad price, $13,800 with free shipping. But there's not too many available, as you can see. This one's just an engine, no transmission for $10,500. And this one, I think, was a sketchy one. What was the deal with this one? $20,000. Yeah, this one's all the way in Michigan for $10,500. So I don't know. This one will be a little bit more difficult to go and get, obviously. It says local pickup. Oh, this one doesn't have factory PCM or anything like that. So $10,500, yeah, local pickup or delivery, I will not ship. So this guy does not want to ship this thing. Make an offer. That would be interesting. Like, I could technically load it up in the Dakota, but the only thing I'd be trying to make it across country with something like that in the back of your truck and hoping that it doesn't get stolen. It'd be a little bit of a sketchy thing to do, that's all. So let me jump back over here for a second. Okay, so let's just say whether we can find one, you know, easily or not, like the engine itself is going to end up costing like 12 grand at least, 12 to 15 grand for a full swap. So part of the thing to keep in mind with this is you can do it two ways. You can try to get one that's complete, that's, how do I explain this? Like this one here, for example, right? This one here doesn't really have anything, as you can see, right? It's just the engine. I mean, the harness is on it, but chances are it's going to be cut. And it's missing a lot of stuff, right? Like the airbox and stuff. So you can try to get this one cheap and then get the harness and stuff like that and the Mopar Performance PCM, which I'll open up a window here. So if we go to Google, actually I was looking up on jigs. I actually bookmarked it. So let's see. I don't want to bookmark this. Where is bookmarks? Hellcat. So, okay. Is this where it was? Give me 1 second, you guys. I guess I didn't bookmark it. Let me just do it this way. Jigs. Here it is. Okay, so this is part of the piece of the puzzle, you guys. So with this, you can obviously this is plug and play, right? So one thing that does raise a bit of a question mark is it's kind of cool. I don't know how Jigs does it, but if you see here, 1762 is the price, right? So it's almost $2,000 for this. So this comes with your power distribution block, which these two plugs here, you can see plugs into your PCM. It comes with two wideband O2 sensors, and it comes with a few other things as well. A ground strap, it looks like, all the clips and the harness for the engine, and of course your gas pedal. And this is supposed to be so you can retrofit a Hellcat motor into like an old school muscle car and get the engine running. So with this part, the only, I guess, downside to doing it this way is they completely left out any transmission control. So you can't run the 8-speed transmission, the electronics on it, with this package kit. So that's the unfortunate part. I don't know why, like, Dodge never decided to do anything there. It's beyond me. But the interesting part, and this is why I want to make a move fast, is Dodge has discontinued this thing. So right now, it looks like Jegs has it. But watch, if I copy the part number, oh wait, hold on. That was Jegs part number. If I copy this part number and go to Google, this thing is discontinued. So watch, if I go to Summit, look, not available. So I'm kind of eager to get this done before it disappears. If we go, I don't know if it was here or a different one. Look, discontinued product. So either one of two things. Either because of all the shutdown and nonsense, whatever, Dodge hasn't been making these or isn't interested in making these anymore, and it might limit our swap opportunities or anybody's swap opportunities, or Dodge is listening to people like kind of my complaint right here that this thing doesn't control the transmission, and maybe they're going to come up with an updated version, and a lot of people that bought this one are going to be left in the dark. So either one or two things are going to happen. I don't know if I want to find out, because that's why I'd like to get this sorted out before maybe it gets discontinued. But one of the interesting things I found you can do is, where is it? I'm going to try and do this. See here? So Mopar Performance or Mopar Parts Overstock, they claim they have it, but it's $16.78. So it's still a lot of money. But it's cheaper than, you know, it's pretty much $100 cheaper than Jegs. Jegs has this thing where it says you can price match. So what I was going to do is try to buy the Jegs one and price match it. $1,600, and that covers our engine controller. So you do it either one of two ways, guys. You pretty much have to get a donor car that has all the electronics in it, has the keys, the gas pedal, all the supporting modules, and you have to take all those guts and put it into our truck or car or whatever you're going to be putting this into. Or you buy something like this engine that we were just looking at, where it doesn't have a computer or anything like that. You get it for cheap, and then you go and buy your PCM and your controller, so your engine controller. But like I said, this still leaves out the question of your transmission. You got to figure out what you're going to do with the transmission. So that's where the other research comes in, and I'll show you guys that with the bookmark. Where is it? Is this one it? Okay, so this is the solution that I found for the transmission. So this company, Sound German Automotive, this was one that actually a guy that did a Hellcat swap into a Grand National, he let me know about this company, which I had not heard of. Maybe you guys have heard of, but I definitely didn't. So you can see here, this is what we're interested in. 8 HP. So prices start at $1,000. So just starting at $1,000. Now supporting 8 HP swaps with the FCA units only. We support swaps with factory takeout ECMs, crate motor ECMs, which would be obviously this thing, and full standalone conversions, factory FCA 8 HP shifters from Charger, Challenger, or Ram must be used. So you still have to use, one of the electric shifters. TPS and RPM and brake switch are the minimum requirements. So they'll sell you a controller that'll control the 8-speed transmission, but again, we're talking $1,000. So if we start adding up the money right now, it's just rough back of the napkin type ballpark. You're figuring 12 grand, 12 to 14 grand for the engine swap, and then another, we'll say $1,700 for the actual PCM, right? So let's just call it 2. So we're at $14,000 to $16,000 for that. Plus, at least it says it starts at $1,000, so I don't know what this goes up to. So we're easily at, $15,000 to $17,000 for the swap so far. So this is where we're at. And I'll jump back to the comments, see if you guys have any questions, and then I'm gonna move on to the hardware and mounting this stuff in a second as well. So that's the decision you have to make. Either you're gonna buy a swap that's complete, has all the PCM and has all that stuff with it. Like I said, you're gonna have to get a donor car. You also have to figure out the fuel pumps and all that stuff. Or you get this kit here and you can piece it together and you don't need all of the modules from a donor car. But the downside of that is you're not gonna get any transmission control. So this is why I think some guys decide to go with an older transmission or stick with the 6-speed. If you stick with the 6-speed, you just buy this PCM swap kit, and the 6-speed manual is 6-speed manual. It doesn't have any brains or anything like that, so you just send it. So that's kind of the situation. So I'm going to jump over to you guys, see what you guys are saying, and then I'll keep going with the other piece of these puzzles and put it together for you guys. Where am I with the comments? Let me just scroll up here. Joy Rock, speaking of GoPro, what model GoPro you have? I have a GoPro Hero 8, but I don't have the newest one. Hero 8 Black, that's what I got. Travis, don't do eBay much anymore. Yeah, it's kind of hit or miss with eBay. I was wondering how long it would take you to put a Hellcat in that truck. If we had all the pieces here, I don't think it would be that bad. I mean, obviously something is going to raise its head, but I'm not too worried about it. It's just going to be a big puzzle, which kind of excites me. I kind of like doing this kind of stuff. So I think it'll be a fun project. It's just going to be an expensive one. Who's next? How do I tell if my 5.7 tick is exhaust leak or worse? Probably have to save that question for another live. We'll try to stay on topic on this one. Just demand another one for you on Insta. Also gave you a price for the Coda motor. Okay, cool. Oh, it just DM'd you. Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out, Travis, once we're done here. I appreciate it. Andy, make a road trip. I'm thinking that would be cool. Like, honestly, if I can find a swap that's, like, drivable where I'm not leaving the truck, like, I would just take the Dakota and put the engine in the back. If I can find one that I can drive to and not worry about somebody stealing this engine out of the back of the truck, I would definitely do it. Mugs, I'll pick it up in Michigan and drop it if you could point me in the direction of some good Cali. Oh my god. Alright, we'll do it. We'll do it. Eric, sketchy for sure. Michael, you could always bid on a car from Coparts. I could, yeah, but I mean the prices are still going to be pretty similar, honestly. I have there's a local guy over here that claims he can get me a Hellcat swap, but I don't feel too comfortable with the arrangement. I don't want to kind of talk too much about it online, but sorry, I'm just gonna drink for a second. But yeah, the arrangement's not too happy with the setup. I'm being asked to pay before seeing or touching or receiving the swap, so I don't know if I'm comfortable with that situation. So, like I said, there's one local, and it would be a good swap, but it's a bit of a risk because I don't really know the person that well. it's coming from a crashed car, so it's not sketchy in that sense. But I'm trying to work out the details with them, or something that could work for both of us with it, because they want me to pay up front before they take apart the car, which I get, but I don't want to pay up front without having the engine in my hands. It's kind of like we're going back and forth right now. So he doesn't want to take apart the car without having the money. I don't want to give him the money without having an engine. So, yeah. Well, I'm trying to work out that. So if I can make that happen, I have one lined up. But it's just we're going back and forth with, who's gonna start doing what first. Who's next on here? I'm just reading some of these comments. I don't know if I'm skipping around, but some are sticking out more than others. Somebody said, whack that Magnum with some nitrous before you pull it. I know, right? Well, see, that's the thing, is I was contemplating that too, and some people were asking, like, hey, why don't you, before you take the Magnum out of there, why don't you put the supercharger back on and crank it up and, blow it up first? I could do that, but with the budget being as tight as it is, some guys are already asking to buy my Magnum with the cam and everything that's in it, which is healthy and well right now. So if I can recoup some money, since I'm footing the bill myself, I think that's probably the smarter thing to do. Trust me, as much as it would be fun for me and you guys to go grenade that thing, I think since it's going to be a tight budget and coming mostly out of my pocket, I think it's probably smarter decision to try to not kill that motor, let somebody else have it, buy it, use that money to put towards the Hellcat swap, which is kind of the way things are looking right now. Plus, we still have Jason's truck. If you guys haven't forgot about Jason's truck, he's doing the full Magnum build. So we're going to have the full Magnum build regardless of whether my truck has it or not. So actually, if I end up bailing, I was talking to Jason today, if I bail on the supercharger and the Magnum build on my truck, we're going to be putting the supercharger on his truck. So either way, you guys are going to be seeing a supercharged Magnum. So if I go with the Hellcat swap, it's going to be nuts. So I'll catch up to a couple more of your guys' comments, and then we'll jump back over, and I'll show you guys all the swap parts that I found. Joy Rock, watched a few engine swaps, and it seems like there's always a lot of little stuff. You always have to run to the auto parts store that add up over time. Yeah, that was the situation with the Viper supercharger kit. So it was just all these tiny little things that I had to keep running back and forth, getting little tiny like bolts and screws and washers, and I didn't really show that part of it because it wasn't that exciting, and it was just more of a pain in the behind for me. But that's part of the thing with doing like either motor swaps or getting used kits and stuff like that. Michael says midnight auto parts. I don't know what you mean by that. I think I know what you mean, but Joey, how much do you think the Dakota makes? Not much. Not as much as we would want it to. Maybe, I don't know, low 300s, mid 300s if we're lucky at the crank. Mr. J. Magoo, had any bites on the S2K? Yeah, there's quite a bit of people that are interested in the S2000, but nothing against this. A lot of younger people, folks, kids, whatever, but they don't have the money and they're trying to get loans and stuff like that, and that's not my department. So because obviously you guys know the S2000 was originally a salvage title, they're having trouble trying to get loans on the S2000. So that's part of the reason why it hasn't sold yet. Otherwise, it would probably already be gone. But I guess just the demographic of people that want the S2000, it's generally younger kids, I guess, because that's kind of a hot car these days. But they don't have the cash, and they're trying to get a loan, and then the loan falls through, and then they don't end up coming. So that's the situation with that. Couldn't you park the truck, pull the motor and trans, and sell them? Yeah, so that's maybe what I'm gonna do, but I want to just make sure I have the Hellcat swap ready to go so that, like I don't mind, buying the Hellcat swap and still having my motor and stuff like that. But I don't want to like have the truck out of commission forever. But I want to make sure that I have all the Hellcat stuff before I yank the motor out of the Dakota, because I don't want to shoot myself in the foot with, selling the motor out of the Dakota and then not being able to do the swap or something, So, all right, let's go back to our picture here. So, like I said, if you guys are just joining in, you better give a thumbs up. Otherwise, this video is over. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but all seriousness, guys, give it a thumbs up if you haven't yet, and I'll keep going here. So we just went over what engine controllers you would need to do something like this. So obviously, you're going to have to make a decision. Are you pretty much getting a donor car and you're ripping all the computers out of it, or is somebody giving you all that stuff with it? As our example here, the shady looking one, which I might still bid on. If it stays around, this price or less than 10 grand, I mean, it only goes in, I don't know if I've added to my watch list. Did I? I guess I did. Which list? The watch list. I don't know. eBay is so confusing these days. But yeah, so there's some options. There's really not that many, though. Hellcat engine, 6.2 Hellcat engine. There's not a whole lot on the market at the moment. But anyways, so you'll have to decide. Are you doing it that way or are you not? And then this is where things get interesting. I don't know how I stumbled across this, but like, look, it literally, look. 5.9 liter RT. They got a single cab Dakota just sitting here. 97 to 2004 Dakota Gen 3 Hemi swap components. Holley has a complete line of Gen 3 Hemi swap components designed specifically for the 97 to 04 Dodge Dakota two-wheel drive. So they do say two-wheel drive pickups. These parts work together for a trouble-free installation with ideal drivetrain geometry and component clearances. I don't know about you guys, but I did not know this stuff exists. So maybe I'll be the first one to start documenting this stuff. I don't know. Maybe I am, maybe I won't. I don't care. The fact that they offer it is cool with me. So here you go. Step 1, engine and transmission mounts. Drop a Gen 3 Hemi in your two-wheel drive Dakota using this engine swap system. Engine is moved slightly forward to eliminate firewall and brake booster modifications. Engine fits with a 99 to 04 9 3/4 factory brake booster. So mine will be fine since I fit into that window. So my brake booster will work. And then it goes like this. Modular transmission crossmember works with an 8 HP 70, which shouldn't matter. 8 HP 70 is actually the Ram transmission and not the 90, but it should be a similar bolt pattern. NAG1, A727, 54.5, 45 RE. There's too many letters there. You guys know the transmission. Anyways, RFE 46RH, 46RE, or TR6060, which is a 6-speed manual. So order transmission adapter to fit the desired transmission. So they sell this bracket. Let me see if I can open this up. Here it is. So it's pretty cool. And I guess, I don't know, it says Hooker on it. So I guess Hooker makes it. I don't know if it's Hooker that makes it or Holley that makes it, or if they're the same company or not. But anyways, the way it works, it's got all these adjustments on it so you can move it around depending on which transmission you're using. So it's pretty cool the way they figured this all out. So here's the underside of a Dakota. You can see it bolts up. You're probably going to, I guess, obviously remove the factory one. But you can move it forwards or backwards. And it's got all these different brackets for what transmission you're running. I think it's like, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I thought that was pretty cool that they offered that stuff. So there's that, and you can just see the different pictures. They're just showing you all the different stuff, different brackets, different transmission, etc. You guys get the deal. But it's pretty affordable. Like, I don't know what your guys' feelings are on this, but $199 with free shipping, that's not bad, honestly. That's pretty reasonable. So, only thing that's raising a bit, I didn't notice this so much the other day as I am right now, but I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. But it says the 8 HP 70 and not the 8 HP 90, which the 90 is the one that's in the Hellcat. So I might have to double check with these guys on that one, but it should still work, I hope. Let's see. Alternator bracket. Yeah, so it's the 8 HP 70 bracket, not the 90. But I'll double check. It's got to be similar transmission. So anyways, you figure out your transmission bracket, and there's some other stuff here, but let me just jump over here. And then I don't think this is necessarily step 2. Yeah, let's go on our own pace because this doesn't make sense. Step 2 is not going to go from your transmission mount up to your thing. Let's go over here. So the engine mounts. So here's the engine mounts. Again, I guess Hooker makes them and not Holley, but whatever. 160 bucks, you guys, like with free shipping. That is completely reasonable in my opinion. So here's the engine mounts, if they open. And I mean, they look like pretty solid mounts. So those are gonna go hook right into, if you guys have ever looked under the hood or at your engine mounts on the Dakota, it's gonna hook right in like this. So obviously you can see there's some sort of Hemi block there, and it hooks right in, right where your factory Dakota one is. So I think that's so cool. And you can see how they staggered it a little bit, right? So when I was reading about it, it says, I don't know if I'm going to read this all for you guys. Anyways, I guess I'll read it for you guys because it has some interesting information here. Get that Gen 3 Hemi swap started the right way by fully engineering engine mounts. Using a fully engineered engine mounting system that provides maximum component clearances, ideal drivetrain geometry, and clearance for Hooker Blackheart swap headers, and up to a 3-inch exhaust. So they make room for all that stuff. The engine swap mounts are designed to work with a modular transmission crossmember, which is the one that we just looked at, to move the engine slightly forward to allow SRV intake manifold and Hellcat supercharger clearance. So they literally designed these engines so that you could put the Hellcat engine in the Dakota. Hooker Blackheart swap headers are designed as part of the system and provide clearance for all the transmission options. These engine mounts fit the K-member on trucks that came with the factory V6 or V8 engines. Mounts feature black finish and include 2 engine mounting brackets, attaching hardware and instructions. So it says that it fits 03 and up, 5.7, 6.1, 6.2, which is Hellcat, or the 6.4. That's, I don't know, I was so excited when I saw this stuff, you guys. So it says, obviously, use that brake booster from 99 to 04. And it just says, eliminates the guesswork and uncertainty that comes with, swapping an engine. What else does it say? The rest of it's just blah, blah, blah stuff. But yeah, this is for two-wheel drive trucks. So it does say 97 to 98 vehicles will require a 99 to 04 9 3/4 inch brake booster and bracket. So that's pretty much it. So like I said, I'm pretty excited about this, you guys. The fact that you can just buy this stuff. So I'll show you one more part, and then I'll get back into a discussion again too, or I'll jump back into the comments for a sec. I'll come and see what you guys are saying for just a minute here. Let me catch up the comments. Maybe someone will trade a Hellcat engine and transmission for the S2K. You never know, right? You never know. Check on Copart. Holley owns all of them. Okay, so the Hooker and the Holley, they like their H's apparently. I just had 2 C8 vets in my shop and installed the Dragon Eye laser jams at both. Can't wait to see people start modding those engines. Yeah, that would be cool too. What happened to the Banana? It still exists. We still have it. It's just been in hibernation because it's so hot and it's kind of just a track vehicle, and the track days come up kind of over the winter. Let's see. Just got back from deployment. What's up, Flip? Okay. Okay, let's go back to this, and we'll kind of show you guys a few more things. So yeah, so these are the, if you guys are just stopping in or whatnot, or I know some people are coming and going. So these are the engine brackets. Like I said, they look legit. I mean, they look strong enough, and they're made specifically for what we need to do. Comes with all the bolts and hardware, and all we gotta do is just bolt it up. So that is pretty exciting, you guys. So this stuff, once I get the kind of my, I guess, plan or strategy is going to be, once I get the engine and transmission lined up, once I get those secured and I know they're either on their way or they're happening or coming, then I'm going to go ahead and order all these brackets and stuff. Because the first thing I want to do, you guys, even if I know there's going to be a bunch of little, knickknacks and stuff that are going to have to get fixed, or not fixed, but like sorted out. But my absolute priority is going to be to get the engine hung in the chassis and get it started, because everything else after that can get sorted out. But wherever I'm getting the engine from, whether it has a 30-day warranty or whatever the heck it might have for a used engine, or 90-day or whatever, I want to make sure I get the engine, hang it in the chassis, and I can start it. Even if it's got no headers on it or no exhaust system and no drive shaft, I just want to get it running, at least so we know that everything's going to work out. So that's kind of the game plan. So if I can get these engine mounts and get the transmission bracket and all that stuff, and just get it sitting there ready to go, if I can hook it up and just fire the engine, make sure that it's going to run, and then we can start working on details, dressing in all the wiring, exhaust, drive shaft, cooling systems, all that stuff. So that's going to be the strategy. Let me show you guys another piece to this puzzle. Well, actually, there's a couple pieces of the puzzle. So another big component. Hooker Blackheart Gen 3 Hemi swap headers. They're called swap headers. So this is for the 97 to 2004 Dodge Dakota two-wheel drive. I guess you guys that have four-wheel drives, you guys are getting left in the dark on this one, but wasn't my decision. I'm just telling you guys the information. So 1 7/8 Tri Y304 stainless steel. So those almost 2-inch runners, you guys. So this has some big piping on it. And yeah, it looks nicely made. Looks like quality stuff. So $720 with free shipping, and you get yourself look at the welds and stuff. So they've ported it so that it's as smooth as possible running out of there. These are a nice unit, you guys. So you could pretty much get, I think these are probably still considered mid-length. I don't know if you'd consider these a long tube, but they look really nicely done. Only thing I don't know is why they went through such a chokehold through there. But look at that. You can't even, they grind all the welds smooth coming right out of the exhaust ports, which is cool. I don't know if this is a 3-inch or what this is coming out of it, but yeah. I think I would have to say this is 2.5? It doesn't really look like 3-inch. I think this might be 3-inch, but this leading up to it doesn't look like it is. I guess it doesn't say, does it? Let's see. So it has 1 7/8 primary tubes and Tri-Y to so it's a 3-inch collector, but for some reason leading up to it doesn't seem to be 3-inch. So that's definitely not 3-inch. So it looks like maybe 2.5 leading up to the 3-inch collector. But either way, it's still a nice piece for sure. So that's how they look. Oh, maybe this might be a Y right here, so it might not be actually that bad. I think the last little bit, this is weird pictures the way they took them. So I think it's a Y right at the end that leads to the 3-inch. So yeah, I don't think there's any restrictions. When you look at it this way, it looks like, what the hell did they do? It looks like they went from 2.5 right into 3, but it's the way it's angled. So it's actually going to look like this. So you're going to have a couple of these big runners coming into the 3-inch. So yeah, there's going to be no restriction, it looks like. I mean, Hooker's a good brand, so you'd hope that they know what they're doing. We're back. Are we back? Are we back? Okay, I think we're back. So we had a bit of a glitch there for a second, but she restarted. Make sure everybody's still here with us. Can everybody still hear me okay? We're still back? Let me know if you guys can hear me okay, and we'll continue on. We're good? All right. Well, if we're good, quit being stingy with a thumbs up. So let's go. Give me a thumbs up. Got 100 and something people on here, and we only got 58 likes. That means we got 50% stingy Boosted Motorsports fans. Knock it off. Let's go. Let me see what you guys are saying here. Let me see. Oh, I'm leaving you guys a comment. There you go. All right, so let's do the math on that then. For some reason it crashed, but we're back. Okay, so you figure $720 or so for that. $200 for the transmission mount, so we're at $920, and $150 or so for the engine mounts. So we're at, I don't know, just over $1,000 for this stuff. So a little over $1,000 to get the engine in the chassis, which isn't terrible, you guys. I mean, I think realistically, if they wanted to, they could charge a few $100s for the engine mounts and at least $400 or $500 for the transmission mount, if they were being, regular prices and trying to price gouge. But they're being pretty reasonable. The only steeper end is these long tube headers, or I don't even know if they're calling them long tube or what they're calling them, but maybe mid lengths. But either way, the headers are going to be the most expensive part of this whole deal. So that's as much as I wanted to show you guys. I guess this is as far as I've gotten as far as the options. Like I said, you can get the harness here, get them the price match. It brings down to about $1,600. So just without buying the engine, I guess. So if we're at pretty much $1,000, we'll say maybe $1,100 for all the stuff from Holley and Hooker to get the engine mounted. Then we're at $1,600 or so. I guess call it $1,650 or something for this. So what are we at? $2,600 or so, $2,700, and then we're at over $1,000 for this. So we're pretty much, you guys, at like, what is that? We're almost at $4,000 right there. So we're gonna be at like $3,700. This says it starts at $1,000, so you might as well call it what it is. It's gonna be like between $3,700 and $4,000 just for the stuff to make the engine work in the Dakota. So it's not cheap, you guys, not cheap. That's why if I could get the engine closer to 10 to 12, that would be better. If I get the engine for 10 or so, in and around that number with the transmission, go ahead and I'll buy this. We buy the headers. We buy the engine mounts. And, I'll show you guys one other thing. I mean, it could be done for about $15,000 with the stuff that I've showed you, if you can get the engine for around $10,000. So, I mean, it's expensive, but you're never going to need more power, I don't think. That's going to be a ton of power. There's this weird thing that I stumbled across. I'll show you guys this thing. $30. Hooker Blackheart K-member filler plate. This is something I don't know that we'll need, but I'll show it to you anyways. Allows for K-member clearance to the Hellcat starter. Required for passenger / right side mounted starters only. I don't know that the Hellcat starter is on that side. I guess we could look in a second. The starter on Mopar transmissions mount on the left or right hand side of the vehicle. If your transmission has a starter mounted on the right side, it interferes with the K-member on the 97 to 04 Dakota. And this filler plate allows modification of the K-member for starter clearance. This filler plate is made from steel with a raw finish, easy welding, used with Hellcat starter. So I guess we need this thing too. Or we could just take our own piece of metal and bend it, but whatever. It's $30, not the end of the world. So yeah, it's just a piece of metal, literally the shape of a oval. So they just kind of bent this piece of metal for, I guess, the Hellcat. Is the Hellcat started on the passenger side? Let's see. On the right side. Let's see. Is the Hellcat starter on the right side of the engine? That one doesn't look like it is. I mean, that would be the right side of the engine. I don't see no starter motor there. It's hard to see. Is there a starter motor? Oh, here we go. That looks like a starter motor, doesn't it? That's the front of the engine, though. No, that's not starter motor. That's AC. So jammed in there. Let's go to a different picture. I'm not sure, honestly. See if I can see another one. Is the starter motor up in there? Can't see it there. I still don't see it. Unless it's underneath that little heat shield there. I don't know. Unless you guys know offhand, but I do not see no starter motor. I see those headers. That's the front of the engine. Let's see. No, I don't see it there either. I do not see a starter motor, you guys. I don't know if I'm blind or what, but unless that's the starter? Is that the starter? I don't know. I think that's a starter motor in that bag. I don't know why it's hanging on the bag on this one. Looks like the starter motor to me on that bag, but I don't know where it goes on this transmission. That's definitely a starter motor in that big bag. I don't know where it goes on the engine though. Let's try one last try, and then if I can't find it, we can't find it. I don't know. This one would be promising. It's 10.5, but it says it doesn't come with the PCM. He's got the pedal and stuff in there. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so sounds like we might need that little plate too. So I'll hop back over to you guys for a second. Whoa. Okay, so I'm back to you guys in the comments. There's a page on Facebook called Gen 3 Hemi Swap Dakotas. Yeah, I mean, we could check that out, but I don't think a lot of the guys are doing the 8-speed transmission. Because even guys that have Rams aren't doing the 8-speed transmission as much as they want them. Because it's just a pain. I know it's possible, but it's like a huge undertaking. Thumbs up 64. Not stingy here. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Can I do anything different on this? Oh, okay. Alright. Will work for motor. Mugs, I'm in Ohio. You guys are just talking. Go out to the garage and give us a cold start on the RT live. Instant 50 likes. I know, right? I can't with this because this is a different setup. I'm not as mobile as I was before. So as you guys know, we're using the old iPhone wherever it went to, and it would always overheat in the heat. Maybe once the winter comes around, I can go back to the traditional lives where it could float around a little bit more, but I can't right now. It's too hot. Let me just go through your comments. Used to live in the Old West Side. Blah, blah, blah. Ben P. Ben P is a Boosted Motorsports member, so let's jump to his comment here. Hey John, how's your day? What's up, man? Not too bad. I'm just tuning in. What have I missed? Just finished putting my truck's winter tires for another season, sadly, because Winter is already here in BC mountains. Oh, yeah, but that's okay. Honestly, I kind of wouldn't mind summer to be over down here. It's been insane. It's still like even today was another 100-degree day. But yeah, we've been going over, I guess, what is needed for the Hellcat swap. I've outlined as much as I know so far on how to make this all work. And I kind of outlined the different options to make it work. So whether you're going to get a donor car and take all the modules from it, or you're going to go the other route. So, yeah. I think it would be cool to get a donor car and take all the bits and pieces from it and put all that in. But the problem with going that way is if you don't get every single module or you miss something, then you're right back where you started. You might pay a premium for taking all the modules and all the the gas pedal or the shifter and all that. If you take all that stuff and then for some reason they fail to give you one little thing and then it won't start, right? I mean, they could give you all the modules in the world, but how do you know they're giving you the right key fob? If they give you the wrong key fob from a different car, the thing's not going to start. It's such a gamble that it's a little bit nerve-wracking. It's not like back in the old days. If you had an engine, you just knew it would work. It wasn't so electronic. As long as the thing had compression and it wasn't seized and she was good to go, it was going to start. You could put it in any car or truck or whatever, right? But things have changed a little bit. Climb says, hit up Cleveland Power and Performance. They have ready-to-run pallets. They do, but you guys want to see how much they are? Here, let's go shopping again. So we'll type in Cleveland Power Hellcat. How much do you guys think these are? Because I already know. You guys ready? You guys ready? So it's pretty cool the way they do it. I think they were the first ones to start doing it this way. But watch. I mean, I do like the way they kind of include everything. Let's see. Drive lines. Engine, transmission, combos. How much you guys think these are? Oh, they don't even have one for you guys. This is rare. Very rare. They don't have it. So they don't have... I don't see a Hellcat one. But here is a turnkey scat pack. So here's a 392 with everything you need with the 8-speed. So this one's $9,500. $9,500, you guys. It's a lot of moolah. So that's not terrible, but given everything we just went through, you're gonna end up spending, what did we say? You'll spend another, I guess, $1,000 on top of that, because we said everything from the Hooker Holly combo is about $1,000, so $1,100. So $1,100 plus this $9,700. And you can have yourself a full 6.4 swap is what it comes down to. That's not terrible. So what would you be at? You would be at almost 11 grand to put a 6.4 into your truck with 8-speed. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Is that a good deal, you think? I mean, it would be pretty cool. It would be a decent amount of power, but you're not gonna, light the world on fire with that kind of power. Look at this thing. They got an old-ass Firebird thing. Look, you buy the old Firebird engine. That's funny. Anyways. Yeah, so unless you guys know... Like, I tried looking on Craigslist for, like a Hellcat motor. Let's see. Hellcat motor for sale. We'll just try looking on Google and see if something surprises us. Schwartz Performance, $16,000. That's just for a crate engine, I guess. A2 Speed has one. Yeah, I think honestly eBay or if somebody knows of one for sale is going to be the best route. I think that's going to be the best way to go. Because I don't see any other ones other than the ones we already looked at. But let me hop back over to you guys in the comments here. It came with boxes under the back seat, so I'm sure they're there. Hellcat. Oh, okay, you guys are just talking about some of your vehicles. Just trying to figure this out, what you guys are saying. So, that's pretty much the situation, you guys. The Hellcat swap is doable. It's just going to be some money. Like I said, I'm working on trying to secure a deal. Let me change this. Let me change this for you guys. So I'm trying to secure an engine and a swap locally and trying to work out those details. So if you guys haven't been here from the live from the start, trying to work out a deal with somebody that has a swap, but it's kind of like what comes first, chicken or the egg with this deal. I mean, by all normal means, typically you pay when you pick something up, right? But yeah, I'm not 100% comfortable with the situation. I don't want to pay this kind of money for something without having something in my hands. So yeah, I mean, a deposit's one thing, but having to pay for the majority of the swap before actually being able to pick it up, doesn't sit too well with me. Yeah, so kind of trying to work out a deal with somebody on the actual kit. But if that doesn't work out, I'll have to check. Actually, somebody said they sent me one on Instagram. Let me take a look. Let me take a look. Oh, okay. So Travis sent me on Instagram. He said that the Texas motor and transmission sold, but then yeah, he showed the one that we just looked at that was from Michigan. So yeah, so I'm trying to work out the details on that kit if I can, and if I can get that swap, then we'll be all set. Then I can go ahead and order all those brackets and we can get rolling with this thing. But like I was mentioning earlier in the video, you guys, however you guys can support the channel, support me, would be appreciated. So whether that's, you know, doing a super chat here, donating that way, if you guys can become a member, whether it's just the basic membership or the premium membership, and send you guys stickers and the windshield banner and all that stuff, you know, to compensate for you guys and your support. Like I said, I'm going to try to make this happen as much as possible, but you guys can see how expensive it is going to be. But I think with everything said, it will be a monster afterwards. So it'll be a ton of fun, and I think it'll pay off in the end, but it's going to be a lot of upfront money. So however you guys can, you know, support me. The other way you guys can support me for free is give it a thumbs up. That doesn't cost you guys anything. Share any of the videos that you guys enjoy with other people that you think would like to see what we do on this channel. So you guys can support me by doing that. And then the other way that's, like I said, we could do something is if I start like a GoFundMe or something like that. Like I said, I'm not going to, like, if I were to do something like that, I'm not going to, like, you know, try to get to a certain number, and if it never gets there, then I'm just going to take all the money and I'm not going to do anything with it. Either way, I'm going to make it happen, but anything that you guys can contribute would, you know, be helpful towards the cause is all I'm saying. So I'm going to make it happen out of my own pocket, but if you guys can support your boy, whether it's anything, buying merch, hit me up for some Boosted Motorsports stickers that we have right here. So whether you guys hit me up for stickers to support your boy, thumbs up, share the videos, you know, watch the ads, all that stuff adds up, you guys. So yeah, we'll make it happen. I think it looks like it's going to happen. I just got to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So the biggest one is going to be finding and locating the engine and the transmission for a decent price. and then I can go out and start getting all the pieces to make it run and work and fit into the chassis. So you guys see all the parts there. That's pretty much it, honestly. Only two items that we're gonna have to contend with afterwards are gonna be the drive shaft. So we're gonna have to obviously get a drive shaft made because I didn't see anything with Holly there or Hooker to make that. And the other thing is going to be just the exhaust, but we can get that done. Jose can do it, or we have a welder. We can play with it and try to get it as well. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. We got the electronics, we got the mounts, everything will fit in there, and then it's up to me to just get it in there and get it working. So I'm not scared about doing it. I just know that it's gonna be expensive. That's all. So I'll jump back to your comments for a minute, and then we'll probably wrap up today's video. But before you guys take off, thumbs up. The heck? Got 100 people in here and only 76 likes. You guys are being stingy. Stingy. So, that's about it, you guys. I'm going to wrap up the video. Regular upload should be tomorrow as well. I'm going to the track with the Dakota tomorrow. So I'm going to do some 8th mile runs with the Dakota. And yeah, I'll have that video out for you guys, in another day or two. But like I said, thumbs up before you take off, please and thank you. Let me know what your opinion is on some of the stuff, whether we can do GoFundMe or if you guys can become a member for Boosted Motorsports. It does help your boy over here that's going to be forking out a lot of dough for this. We don't have any big sponsors just yet, so this is going to be my money again. Like I said, it's going to be my money, my fun that I'm going to be having, but at the same time it is going to be kind of a expensive project. So thanks again, you guys. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. We'll see you guys on the next regular uploaded video. Take care.